This is the sort of like the subtlest thing. This is the sort of the simplest thing, but it takes us sometimes a while to understand fully on this sort of spiritual process. And it's so funny because this recognition is not at a distance from you. It is not something you have to build up to. You may feel like that, you may believe that to be the truth, but that's not true. It is really to actually clearly see that as long as there's a need to do something about what is known, for example, a thought or an emotion, as long as there's a constant need to like, okay, so Sunny, what do I do about these thoughts, or what do I do about this emotion? That needing of to do something, or having your attention on something, or looking and creating a story out of something, that is actually the main problem, which not only perpetuates the issue but also makes you suffer what is being known. So for example, negative thoughts. So you have to see that like negative thoughts, they just arise and they subside. That's fine. That's what they're doing. That's what they are. They are known. They are known by you, not you, this person. Clearly, it is not this body that is aware of the thought. The thought itself, see this for yourself. The body is something that is what we call physical, rigid, solid, gross. A thought is subtler than the body. A thought you don't even know from your five senses. And actually confirm this in your experience right now. A thought is not something you know with your five senses. But yet you still know it. You still are aware of it. So where are you aware of it from, if not the five senses? Because this is how you live in the world, you know? You feel like what I'm seeing, touching, hearing, tasting, feeling, that is what I know. But actually, there's a lot of stuff you know that you don't know you through your five senses. Things like thoughts, emotions, sort of inner sensations. Are you with me so far? Does that make sense so far?
Yes, so far it does. Like during today, honestly, they're like.
So here's the thing. Right now, drop all this for a second, okay? So just stay with me. So when I ask you, like, are you with me? So just stay with that. Don't create another story around that, okay?
Okay.
So this is very important because this is truly, you're just all seeing the mind in motion. You are seeing how the mind doesn't want to just listen to understand. It wants to listen to now further, you know, like do all this stuff and say, connect it to all these stories. This is very, very good, you know, that it came up. I want you to see this. That is how it perpetuates itself. Okay, so right now, literally just be empty of all this. Like, just let go of what happened. Let go of like, oh, this COVID time, or let go of, I've been trying to do this, or I've been having these thoughts every night. Now it's already not true anymore. What is true is just here and now, what you're hearing, what you're saying, what, you know? So this is the only thing that you can go off of now. So let that entire past experience now fully just vanish right now. At least for this moment. Pick it up later, okay?
Okay.
So what I was getting to before is I want you to first recognize, because we're going to build up to this, okay? I want you to first recognize that there are many things you know that you don't know through your five senses. Okay, so that's what you can say, what you can call your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, your inner sensations, even intuition. Okay, with me so far?
Yes.
So you know these things, yet it is not the body of that is knowing these things. Okay, so already see how you're claiming. Just through this statement, it's very, very easy to see and recognize that there is a deeper me that is aware, that knows. Because usually, literally, you even like when you wake up at night and you're having those thoughts, you truly believe, it is just an assumption through conditioning that I, Ankita, this body, am having negative thoughts. This is not true. I want you to see this real quick. That it is not the body that knows the thoughts. It is not the body that is aware of the thoughts. You may think that it's not significant right now, but actually acknowledging this is very, very significant in the long run. That from where you know all these negative thoughts arising is already a deeper intelligence within you which doesn't have form. What do I mean by form? Like physical form. It has no form. Is that part clear so far? That which is aware of the thoughts, because the five senses are not aware, so it's not the body. That which is aware of the thoughts, call it consciousness, awareness. We don't really care about putting a label to it right now. Whatever that may be, is already what you truly feel yourself to be in experience, where you are truly coming from. And if that place, that deeper place, which sometimes in meditation you try to get to, that deeper place is already from where you know all these thoughts arising. Is that clear so far?
Yes.
Very, very good. Let this sink in for just a moment. Just see that already this awareness or this silence that you're trying to get to, everybody, that we're trying to get to through meditation by stilling our mind, actually this consciousness, this sort of deeper me, is from where I know my thoughts are even right now. Even when I'm having a ton of thoughts, that's still that deeper essence which knows them. Now, so right now, the way this battle sort of perpetuates itself, and the reason I'm so emphasizing this fact that you are already in that place where you're trying to get to right now, that you're already knowing these thoughts from a deeper place. The reason I'm emphasizing this is because right now you feel like you are in the battle. I'm telling you that the battle is not true, that you're already outside of it and transcendent of it. This doesn't make sense right now. So let's take it this way. Right now, doesn't matter if it's at night or throughout the day, negative thoughts arise. From where? Who knows? Who cares? What knows them? We just saw it here. It is not this body that is knowing of the thoughts. It is already something deeper that has no shape or form. Now, these negative thoughts arise, and because you're sort of buying into their projection, what they're saying, what they're projecting about the future, this causes discomfort. Okay? This causes some sort of level of unease, Now, the fact of the matter is, you're just aware of the thoughts. You're just seeing or knowing the thoughts. The thoughts are actually not doing anything to you, believe it or not. They're making you suffer because, right now, there's just a sense of, these thoughts, there's a sense of belief in these thoughts. There's a sense of identification with what they're saying about your future, about what's going to happen, about this process, about how you can't get it, about this, and this, all sorts of stuff, So, because of the belief, simply, it is just another thought that arises that says, Sunny, what can I do about these thoughts? And then another thought arises that says, oh, I'm suffering these thoughts. I want to be rid of these thoughts. And then another thought arises I really want to be free. I've been trying so hard and I've been doing this for months and I've been doing this. And so all that's happening is that you are just the seer. You're just the formless witness. And again, not the body. I know I go like this, but don't think that this body knows these things. Body is just simply an external expression. It is not what knows. We already said. So it's all that's happening is that just a seeing of these projections is arising. And you see one projection, but because you believe in it so much, you believe in it as true, you believe in it as my voice, you dwell in what it's projecting. Now simply another thought arises, which now you also believe in, and this thought says, I don't want to have this thought, and I want to be free of this thought. And then another thought arises. So you're just the seer of this. You have nothing to do about this. You are just the seer of this, but you're just again and again seeing and believing. And then because there's so much great belief in what the thought is saying, just simply another thought arises that says, I want to be rid of this. I can't. I'm so suffering so much. I just, and then so you believe in that too. And then another thought arises, it's what can I do about this? And that's the thing. The mind always needs to keep you in motion, keep you in constant fighting back, keeps you, because that is the mechanism through which this mind continues to borrow your belief. And as long as there is belief, there will be mind. You need to recognize that you are not in the battle. You are just watching the battle. This simple. If you just recognize this, that I'm just the watcher of this constant activity and battle that I was previously placing myself in, then you start to see that you're already free of it. That there's nothing to do about these thoughts other than to simply, if they arise, watch them, and literally just disengage. And that's disengagement is not something that, again, it's not a doing. It's just like, you have to sort of build this level of discernment now that what arises does not need to be believed in. We say this all the time, but still something goes towards belief in these thoughts. You can attend all of these calls, yet like throughout the week, then you suffer your own thoughts only because you continue to just place your belief in them. This, if you really want something to do, then do only this. Stop giving belief to just the projection that is arising as me, as my voice, as something true. You may say, but Sunny, it just happens on automatic. Then do it to the best of your ability. You see? Don't suffer then not having control. If you really don't have control, then like, if anything, that is something to be just fully peaceful about, because it's like, okay, if I really don't have control, then I'm just gonna ride it out and see where it takes me. But like, you're also suffering the fact that maybe, I don't have control over it and it's just automatic. So either you just don't suffer the not having control, and you just let it ride, like, just take it where it's going and see what turns of it, what becomes of it, or you do your best, which is the only thing you can ever do. So if you want something to do, realize that the only thing you have to do is stop giving belief in what is arising as something of value, of significance. Stop dwelling in its story. Cut it off. Cut it off again and again, because through that it loses power. I don't care how many times it has to be done. It will have to. You've spent so much energy throughout your life building a mental prison around yourself. Now spend as much energy breaking it down. Good news is, it doesn't take as much energy to break it down as to build it up, because this sort of like false projection and this belief, like all these false projections and this way of being, the moment it starts to be seen as something not necessary. Once you start to truly, practice this and see that, like, I'm just a seer of this. Like, so really, in this way, also establish yourself, even if you have to do it mentally, just know that you are just the witness, nothing more. You are just the witness. You, the witness, doesn't have a past, doesn't have a future, doesn't have a story, doesn't have any desire, doesn't have any resistance or fear, doesn't have a goal, doesn't have an agenda. You are just the witness. Can you even, everybody on the call, can you even right now quickly fathom what that position would be like if you are just the witness? No personality, no personal history, no anything that you consider your, personal. No identity. Just the plain witnessing, not even the witnesser and who's the witnesser. Not another body that is somewhere witnessing this. No. Just try to, like, maybe even imagine just pure witnessing. No witnesser. There's no somebody that's doing it. It's just a witnessing, like empty space. Free of identity, free of personality, free of caring about what is being witnessed. So in these moments when these thoughts are arising, take that role. I'm not telling you to have that role throughout your life if there's great resistance towards that right now. Mm-hmm. Just when these things are happening, at least, take that role of because already you are witnessing experience. Right now you just believe that it is this body that is witnessing this experience with, so that is what dilutes this witnessing. That is what makes it all sorts of personal. Now it's just going to be desire and resistance. Preference and resistance, you can say. I'm telling you, in that moment, remember what I said, okay? Like, okay, I'm just going to take the pure witnessing role. No personal identity, no agenda, no fear, no caring, no involvement, no engagement. Like, I'm free of all these personal qualities. I'm just the pure witnessing. You take on this role, and you will start to see that thoughts just arise, whatever they're saying, because there's no interest, no caring, no belief, even these negative thoughts no longer have so much of a pull on you. They can only bother you if you care.
Mm-hmm.
If you care about what it is and what it should not be and what it should be. You see, this is what keeps you bound to the thoughts. This is what keeps you in the battle. And then another thought arises, and then you have interest and, preference and all that, and then you stay bound to that thought. I'm telling you to just be the pure witnessing, which is actually, believe it or not, an aspect of your true nature. It is more you than this personal self that you consider yourself to be. Being the pure witnessing, and through that, you will literally just still see these negative things come up,
Mm-hmm.
but they will just unravel and lose their power. All these sorts of projections, they need you in sort of a personal role, fighting them, resisting them, trying to do something about them constantly in order for them to continue going. Once you just establish yourself more and more to the best of your ability as just the witnessing, seeing that you have to do nothing. You don't have to do anything about what is being witnessed, because there's no preference, there's no interest, there's no care about what it is, there's no care about what it's going to lead to. It's just a pure witnessing. Now, what is being witnessed will itself, you will see, it will itself stop being so dysfunctional. To maintain all, you have to see that you are putting in so much energy and belief, which you don't feel like it's taking energy from you, but because it's just habit, but you are supporting and maintaining this negative thinking, all this fear that you are suffering, all these emotions, all this past, all this future. You're literally suffering the future, and you don't even know what the future is going to be.
That's true.
So this personal way of being, it's just, now you're understanding, now you're learning. This is what higher consciousness is. You're learning that there is a better way. That just the way that you were taught by your parents, who were taught by their parents, and all that's not necessarily, even though it gets you by in the world,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you suffer while you're getting by. There is a better way. Now you're learning this, and so really, like, you have that greater responsibility, you have that greater opportunity to confirm this in your experience. You take that witnessing role and you truly implement what I'm saying to you right now, and I'm telling you that these projections will truly lose their power over you. And you will see for yourself that, like, I'm just the seeing. And I don't have to do anything about these thoughts. And when you let go of this need to do anything and fight against what is being witnessed also just comes back into a sort of balanced role. Maybe sometimes it'll be negative, sometimes it'll be positive, but no longer will it be dysfunctional. Dysfunction comes because we sort of believe in these projections, and the mind has a sort of a tendency towards protecting and securing, and so it's very threatened when its future, it feels very negative when its future is threatened, So it has a sort of a bias towards negativity. Once you de-energize the mind in this way, of belief, of power, of battle, the mind itself starts to just come back to a more balanced role, the way it should be. The mind should be your friend, not your tyrant. When it becomes your tyrant, it is a very bad tyrant. But once you start to see this, once you start to establish yourself as a witnessing of the mind, the non-personal witnessing of the mind becomes your friend, and it becomes your servant. Mind is a very good servant. It is a very bad tyrant. It is a very good friend, but it could also be your enemy when it's your tyrant. So see that you're supporting this struggle, and this constant need to do something about it is what has to go. You have to, through trial and error, through doing your best, see yourself as just the space-like witnessing within which all these things are being witnessed. And even though maybe right now logic is fighting against this, your past, what you've learned, all that stuff is fighting against this, maybe, I'm telling you you've supported all these arguments your entire life. See where they have gotten you. Now, put them to the side just for now to try out what I'm saying. And if it brings you sort of a sense of well-being, if it resonates, if it alleviates your suffering, then we're a fool if we cling on to the suffering versus that which alleviates us of it, you know?
Thank you for watching this video. Now, here are a couple of ways that I can be of direct help to you right now, okay? And I'm going to link everything that I mentioned right now in the description box below. So number one is you can join our free Personal Mastery Quest community, our Facebook group, on which you can interact with me personally and ask me all your questions. I love the community over there and I do my best to reply to you as soon as possible, okay? Number two, if you have not yet watched my free Ego to Presence Masterclass, in which I teach you how to implement the teaching of self-inquiry into your life step by step and deepen your meditation and deepen your self-inquiry profoundly, then again, check the link in the description box below and go watch that masterclass. It is 1 hour. It will bring you tremendous value, okay? And now lastly, if you want to work with me and my team personally, and you want me to help you dissolve mind identification and realize your true being, then you can check out my coaching program, the Higher Consciousness Shift. All the details of it are down below in the description box. Just click the link that is under section coaching. Okay, and it'll take you there to my personal website where you can go through all the details and book a free call with me, and we can decide if we're the right fit to work together. That's all for today. I will see you in the next video.